All right, cool, man. I think we in this jump. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Got Next podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Baldwin, my co-host, Donovan Moore.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man. Today we'll be diving into the NBA playoffs, man, just covering some of the notable playoff matchups. We talking about things we noticed, some things to watch out for, some key takeaways from each game that we cover. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, all that type of stuff. And let's get into the intro, man.
You ready, Playboy?
Yo, turn it up, Slay. I can't hear nothing.
All right, man. We back at y'all. So first series that we'll be covering today is going to be the Phoenix Suns versus Dallas Mavericks, man. Of course, we already know that the Suns, they got up out of there in 7 games, man. Luka went the heck off, man. He had 35, 10, and 4 in the last game, the closeout game. And Chris Paul and Devin Booker, they combined for 21 points together on 7 to 22 shooting. So what did you see from the Phoenix Suns and Dallas Mavericks series, Dono?
Man, it just seemed like they were. I'm not gonna say outmatched. It was just almost like they were just outworked, outhearted. Dallas they just wanted it more. They just wanted it more. Phoenix obviously is the more talented team between the two, but Dallas had the best player in the series, obviously Luka, and then they just had guys who just wanted it more. That was really the only thing about it. Dallas just wanted it more, and I had Phoenix making it to the conference finals, but losing it to Golden State. But after I saw the first couple games of that series, when it was just you could just tell Dallas was slowly becoming a better team, and Monty Williams got outcoached as well. Jason Kidd made the necessary adjustments. He put his players in the best position to win the series, and that's what they went out and did. I wasn't expecting that Game 7 to go like that, though. I mean, everybody was more likely expecting close game, come down to the final couple possessions, last couple minutes, but a 30, 40-point blowout, that was not expected.
Absolutely, man. And so when the Suns first went up 2-0, like I'm thinking, the Mavericks may not even get a game in this series. I mean, Suns look really good at first. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had them sweeping them for a little bit, and then that's when they start folding, man. And I was like, I don't like what I'm seeing from the Suns no more. And then as soon as it was about to go to a Game 7 and they forced a Game 7, the Mavericks did, I was like, they got the better player. It's one game you got to win. I got the Mavericks. So I had the Mavericks for that last game. Didn't have them by 46, but I did have them winning the game. So definitely was shocked to see them kind of just manhandle the Suns, and they were just kind of had no fight in them after a certain point. So that was, definitely shocking for sure. How do you think that impacts Chris Paul's legacy or Devin Booker's legacy going forward?
I feel like for Chris Paul, that might be more damaging, to be honest with you. I hate to be like a Patrick Beverly type of guy, just kind of piling on a man when he's down, pause. But it's just tough. It's just tough because Chris Paul, I think they said this is about the 5th series. He's had a 2-0 lead and then lost.
The most in the NBA.
Yeah, that's probably most in NBA history.
It is the most in NBA history, 5-0.
Right. So that's ridiculous. It's really tough to say. To be honest, I don't think there's any way he can win a championship before he retires. Last year was probably his best shot. This year they had a decent shot. I had them losing to Golden State in the conference finals if they made it that far. But it's really tough to see him winning a championship. The league continues to get better, continues to get younger on top of that. And then Phoenix, who knows what they're going to do with DeAndre Ayton. That's probably another big question there. So I feel like it's definitely more damaging for Chris Paul. Devin Booker, he's still young. He's like 25. So, I mean, he has a lot of time left. But
I mean, they were calling him Kobe. He's supposed to be Kobe Bryant, Jelly Bean. Man, he's not that. He's definitely not that.
You remember the video when he got mad? He was getting double teamed in the pickup game.
Yeah, I did see that.
Then the Mavericks started double teaming him in the playoffs, and then he wasn't ready for it. Like he ain't know what to do.
Why exactly?
So yeah, I mean, I feel like Phoenix had a solid little 2-year run, but it's not looking too great for them with the Clippers coming back. You got Kawhi coming back, and who knows what moves they'll make. Who knows what moves the Lakers will make. So it was a solid 2-year run for Phoenix, but they'll still be a playoff contenders, but not championship.
And just to piggyback off of what you were saying, with a lot of people being injured right now in the Western Conference, I mean, you got Jamal Murray not playing right now. You got MPJ not playing. So they coming back. The Nuggets on them. The Grizzlies are not going to get any worse.
Right.
The Clippers are coming back, like you said. It's a lot of teams. I mean, the Warriors going to get Wiseman back next year. So
And then who knows what the Mavericks will add in the
who knows what the Mavericks are going to do? Like, that's what, 6 teams
Yeah.
with this game. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think definitely their run is not over. I don't want to say it's over, but their best chance to win a championship is done.
Yeah, it was either this year or last year. That was their time, and they didn't get it done.
Yeah, so definitely going forward, they're not going to be a favorite to win anymore. But I mean, they're still going to be right there. I mean, Chris Paul is still Chris Paul, and hopefully Devin Booker can learn from this and be better.
For sure.
Yeah, trash talking Luka Doncic when you're not really that good isn't well, you're not as good as he is. I mean, it's probably not smart. And then, so yeah, you definitely saw what Luka did to them. 35, 10, and 4. A few years back, I said he was going to be an MVP. So this next season coming up, still my MVP pick. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen. He's gonna get an MVP
within the next 2 years. It'll happen.
I hope so, man. I really do. But next we're gonna move on to the Miami Heat versus 76ers series, man. Me being a Miami Heat fan, I already picked. Regardless of Joel Embiid getting injured, I already had the Heat in 6, just because of the James Harden that we've seen this entire season, honestly, especially the second half of the season. Yeah, he just wasn't really himself. You could see him, like, whenever he turned the ball over, he's not the type to hustle to get it back or anything like that. He usually be the last person past half court and stuff like that. That's not how you win a championship, especially not in the playoffs. You're going up against the Heat, where, like, if they don't get back past half court, they're gonna get chewed out in the next time out or whatever. So they had to bring that type of dog. And if Harden didn't come to play, I knew they were gonna lose. And just as he always does, Harden didn't come to play. So of course they lost. And yeah, it's just pretty crazy. I like being right, man. Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals for the 6th time in the last 11 seasons, man. It's pretty impressive, honestly. And I don't really know what the Sixers can do from here on out. I mean, do you think James Harden gets a max this off season?
See, that's tough, because I feel like if they do give him that, they'll just be trapped. They'll be trapped.
Exactly.
Because then they'll look back 3 to 4 years from now and be like, man, that was a terrible deal. Kind of like the same thing with the deal they've given Tobias Harris. I feel like paying Tobias Harris $40 million for 15 to 17 points a night is kind of really counterproductive. And then you got a young player like Tyrese Maxey that's just out here balling. So I feel like the best bet for Philly is to probably do, kind of like what LeBron does, for instance. Just give James Harden like 1-2 year deals with like decent money there, so he could still make money, but you're not locked in for the long term. Just kind of take it as a year by year basis and see how he performs. I would give Harden another year in Philly though. He came mid-season. They were okay. They were solid. I feel like the team just relies on Embiid. So with Embiid out there, who knows what would have happened in the Miami series? But yeah, I feel like just give Harden like one year deals. Just keep giving him like one year deals. He can opt in, opt out after the year, and just kind of go from there. I would like to see how Philly does with a full year together, though.
I can agree with that, but I definitely want to see more dedication from James Harden, man. He always coming into camp out of shape and trying to play himself back into shape, where it's like you should be doing that in the summer, like really working on your body and stuff like that, like like the greats do, LeBron and all them. But Harden has the talent. It's just like sometimes he's just low motor. Sometimes, man, that's really what it is. Sometimes you can just visually tell he just doesn't have the want to, like, to go dive on the floor, like to get back on defense. Not like, seriously, he just doesn't have that sometimes, and that's kind of the downfall of James Harden. Honestly, with all that talent, he just doesn't have the championship intangibles, and that you have to have that goes along with that. So, hopefully they are a little bit better next year. Maybe Embiid gets an MVP, maybe not, but Jokic is better than him, and that's why he has 2. So we're gonna move on to the Milwaukee Bucks in the Boston Celtics series. I definitely coming in, I already didn't see the Bucks winning that series without Chris Middleton. I mean, they don't have their second best player. There was no way that they're gonna win the series. But for it to go 7 games, honestly, was shocking. I can't lie to you. I thought the Celtics would probably get them out of there in 5 or 6, but for it to go 7, I think that kind of shows a weakness on the Boston Celtics side, which I don't think a lot of people have talked about, honestly, because for that to go 7 games without their second best player, like that's pretty sad. I'm not gonna lie to you. So maybe the Bucks can come back a little stronger next year. I kind of had the Celtics winning the championship this year, so probably just wasn't gonna be their year anyway. But Now that they're playing the Heat, I don't know. I don't know who I got coming out the East, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. How did you feel about the Bucks and Celtics series?
I had the Celtics winning that one in 7 games. I knew it was going to be a tough series. Giannis is one of the best players in the league, and I just feel like it came down to, as it always does in the playoffs, just which team has the better role players, which team comes through in the clutch moments, and Boston just had the better, I feel like, overall bench and role players for that series. Grant Williams, he did his thing. He did his
He
thing.
stepped up. He stepped up, man.
Yeah, he
Absolutely. Al
stepped up
Horford
big
too.
time. Al Horford. Can't forget
Al
about Al
Horford too.
Horford. And they were doing all of this without Robert Williams as well, who's probably one of their best defenders, if not the best, along with Marcus Smart. And you gotta give Marcus Smart his credit as well. That man was guarding Giannis. He was guarding Drew Holiday. He was kind of all over the court. So Boston definitely earned that. Uh, they just played ferocious defense. They just earned it. They just earned it.
Yeah.
Because they're the champions. You gotta give the Bucks their props. They are the champions for a reason. They earned all their props that they received. So Boston just had to bone up and guard, man. And they were making it tough for Giannis for sure. He was shooting like what? Some games he was 9 for 25, for 9 for 26, and
Yeah, and like I think he was shooting like 40, around 40%. He usually shoots around 55, 60, as you know, because I mean a lot of shots and layups and dunks. So, for him to shoot 44% around the rim that's a testament to their defense, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
But speaking of defense, we got a really gritty series going on right now. We're gonna talk about some current series that are going on right now. So next up, we got the Miami Heat versus Boston Celtics. So that game took place last night, game 1. Wasn't looking good coming out of the gate, man. Me and Dono were watching it together. So, they came out 7-0 run the Celtics, and then we kind of fought back, and then it was a 13-point lead for the Celtics at half. And then, like I said, Dono was right there. I said, look, this third quarter is going to tell me everything I need to know about this game. And the Miami Heat came out. They were aggressive. They were physical with Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum had 6 turnovers in 1 quarter, the most he's ever had in a quarter in his entire career so far. So, he was definitely struggling a little bit. They definitely came a little bit stronger in the fourth quarter. I thought for a little bit they might be able to put a run together, but it just kind of seemed like after that run, it seemed like the Heat were just kind of in charge the entire time. And then Jimmy Butler, of course, 41 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals, and 3 blocks. Like, man, that sheet for supreme, absolutely. So he had a hell of a night, Jimmy Butler did. And how did you feel about the game last night, man?
It was definitely a very good game. I feel like that game won't really be like telling of how the series will go. First games are always, in my opinion, like fill out games. I think Boston will win this series in 7 games, but I feel like every game is going to be a dogfight. But the way both those teams defend, the way they both can shoot the 3 ball, I just feel like what give Boston the ultimate edge in the end. They have multiple people that can create their own basket for them. If Miami could find just 1 or 2 other people to give them 15 to 20 points a night, then I feel like they have a real shot at winning this series. But Boston, man, I just think the way Tatum's playing, and then I think the way Jaylen Brown played last night, he got hot in the fourth quarter, but overall that wasn't really a good game for him. And then to have Marcus Smart and Al Horford back, hopefully sometime soon, I guess by game 2 or game 3 or something like that. They'll be a completely different team. They had to play guys I don't think have played the whole postseason. But
yeah, like they had to get Peyton Pritchard 30+ minutes last night with Marcus Smart being out, and you could just tell he was food out there, man. Jimmy Butler was hunting him every time on the pick and roll. So
as he should have been.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, Marcus Smart's gonna be a game changer for them, I believe. Not that I think he can guard Jimmy Butler, but I mean, if he's on him,
it's another body. It's
another body, and I mean, defensive player of the year. I mean, he's gonna have an impact on the game. So absolutely. My only thing with the Celtics, I mean, you talked about with the Heat, if we get a few people to give us 15 or more, that we probably have a good chance in the series, and I think that we can do that. PJ Tucker can give you 15 on any good night. Max Strus, I mean, he's proven himself as a 3-point shooter, as a defender, and as a just all-around team player, honestly. So maybe Max Strus can give you 15 with 10 rebounds sometimes. Tyler Hero can clearly give you 15. He averaged 20, 6 man of the year, stuff like that. And then Victor Oladipo, even on a bad shooting night last night, he had plucked, Jason Tatum on that one play. Like, he's pretty good defender. People forget that he was all defensive first team in 2018, most improved player. Like, he's he's actually a really solid player, and especially now that he's getting his legs under him and stuff like that. I like to see his confidence rise, but definitely don't think that first game is telling of how the series is going to go moving forward. It's definitely going to be way more grittier. I think the Jason Tatum's going to get hot at one point. We're just going to have to see who comes out on top. Absolutely, but it's going to be a fun series for sure. And CJ is going to owe me $50 as soon as that series is over. Next up, we got last but not least, we got the Dallas Mavericks and the Golden State Warriors. That's going to tip off tonight at 9:00. How do you feel going into this series, and who's your pick, and how many games?
So for this series, I got the Warriors in 6 games actually.
Okay.
As hot as the Mavericks are coming in, I just feel like Golden State with their championship mindset, and then these teams match up evenly. I feel like the first 2 matchups Dallas had versus Utah and then versus Phoenix, they were able to hunt the big man on the pick and roll and just kind of just put Rudy Gobert and DeAndre Ayton on islands and just say y'all can't guard Luka or whoever, even Jalen Brunson or Dinwiddie. Like they just couldn't match up with the shot creators on the Mavericks. I feel like with Golden State, they're just going to do the obvious. They're going to start Draymond at center, have Wiggins out there, Steph, Clay, and probably Otto Porter or Kuminga or something. But they just have so many wing defenders, just bodies they could throw out there. And I feel like they're 2 like evenly matched teams. But what takes Golden State over the top, I feel like, is just they have 3 players that can pull up from anywhere and still get 30 points on a nightly basis. So just to have Poole, Clay, and Steph, and then you got Wiggins, who he has it easy. He's getting open shots. All you have to do is give him 15 to 20 points, and then everything else falls into place. I just feel like at the end, Golden State will kind of just edge them out alone with their experience and also with their talent. So I got Golden State in 6 for this one.
Okay, I can like that pick. I'm gonna say, for actually one of the reasons that you said, I'm actually gonna pick the Mavericks in this series. One of the reasons that you said was, the Mavericks in the last few series, they could like point somebody out on the court and be like, that guy can't guard on the pick and roll, so we just gonna attack him the whole time. First series, it was Rudy Gobert. Second series, it was Chris Paul. And this series, I think it'll be Steph Curry. I can't lie to you. He's 6'3". Him and Luka play the same position. I think that they're going to look for that switch. Steph Curry is not ready to guard Luka Doncic. I will tell you right now, nobody on that basketball court can guard Luka Doncic, bro. And that's going to be a problem. So, yeah. I mean, and that's another thing. I think the X factor in this series, like, I don't really think it's a shocker or anything like that, is Steph Curry. I mean, if Steph Curry, top 5 point guard, apparently a lot of people think that. I think that personally, top 5 point guard of all time. So he got to play like it now. I mean, that last series against the Grizzlies, there was a few games where I'm like, is that Steph? Looks like Steph out there, like Steph running point guard. Like I did not look like Steph Curry, man. I'm talking like shooting really bad from the field, just couldn't really hit a shot until the very end of game 7 or what it was, or game 6. So it was game 6. Like he really didn't get hot until the very, very, very end, and they were kind of already up at that point.
Pulling away, yeah.
So like if Steph Curry cannot be Steph Curry in this series, and Luka Doncic actually is the best player in this series, I think the Mavericks have a great chance to win this series.
Oh, they got a shot for sure.
Absolutely. And then the same thing with the Warriors. They don't really have a lot of size outside of Kevon Looney. So, like you said, it's kind of an even matchup in that way because, the Mavericks don't really have a big guy. Who's their biggest guy? Dwight Powell or like Boban Marjanovic, but he's not getting playing time, first of all. He's not getting playing time. So, I just don't really – I don't know, man. I think anything can happen in this series. And Luka Doncic, man, he's that guy. He's that guy. He's going to be in club superstar after this series is over, man. He's actually going to be the cover of this episode because, man, he has been balling. And he is going to be, I think, from here on out, the best player in the playoffs.
From here on out. Yeah, he'll definitely do his thing. I just feel like the Warriors are in the playoffs, especially are used to people hunting Steph Curry. With all their series against the Cavs and LeBron, and just their playoff series period, they're used to people hunting Steph Curry on the pick and roll. So I feel like they'll definitely have a plan in place to either hedge it or just show a body, and then Steph can recover to whoever he's checking. I just feel like with the way the Mavericks play, just kind of spacing out and then leaving the court open for shooters. They just won't put Steph necessarily on the island against Luka because they know that's just food. That's just food.
I agree, but I think everybody on the court is food. That they had their death lineup with Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson. Yeah. This version of Klay Thompson cannot guard Luka Doncic. In past years,
that's facts. That's
Yeah,
right.
in past years, he's been a really good defender. I mean, he is just coming off of 2 catastrophic injuries. Like, I can't expect him to go out there and strap up Luka Doncic, like, have the defense that he used to. But yeah, I think even if Clay gets switched on Luka Doncic, he cannot guard him. Jordan Poole gets switched on him, he cannot guard him. Kevon Looney gets switched on him, he is food. It's just like, who can guard Luka Doncic in this series? Seriously, and
Yeah.
and
But
he
then
can
it's
get.
like the same. It'll be the same thing on the other end because then it's
I
like
agree.
I don't think the Mavericks will be able to have like I don't want to say the conditioning, but like I just think with the way the Warriors play on the offensive end, just like with a bunch of screening and passing and moving the
Off
ball
ball
around
movement and stuff.
and
Yeah.
nonstop
Mhm.
movement, yeah,
Yeah.
they'll just kind of get lost a little bit because it's like versus Phoenix, it was kind of like Chris Paul and Devin Booker just holding the ball,
Mhm.
waiting for a pick and roll,
Right.
and then like they were satisfied with Bridges and Crowder shooting threes. They're versus Golden State. You're not satisfied with Steph or Clay or Poole or
Getting
even
open.
Wiggins in some instances have an open three or Otto Porter if he's back for the series. So
Right.
it's gonna be a great one though.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, at the end of the day, for the Warriors, it's all going to come down to being able to make shots. If Steph Curry is on fire, if Steph is Steph and Clay is Clay, and everybody else is themselves, and nobody really kind of is having off nights and stuff like that, or even when somebody does have an off night, somebody's really going off, like Game 6 Clay and stuff like that, I think that the Warriors have this easily. But
Yeah,
from what I've seen in the playoffs so far from the Warriors, I cannot pick them in this series because Luka Doncic is that dude. I don't know how many times I got to say it. That's my guy right now, man. But man, that's going to do it for this episode of the Got Next podcast, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that type of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and put the socials up here for a few seconds. It's going to be our TikTok. Make sure you follow us on TikTok. Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram, man, all of that type of stuff. Man, yeah, everything. Yeah, just show some love, all that. We got some controversial stuff, on TikTok. So make sure y'all interact with that type of stuff, all of that. And we're going to see y'all next week, man.
Yes, sir.
Peace.